Hello, I'm Juan Davies, Chief Creative Officer at KCET and PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How is everyone today?
Doing well.
Thank you.
LA County officials reported more than 1,500 new cases of COVID-19 today. Aaron, you've been looking closely at the data and who is being the most impacted.
Yes, the pandemic has developed in LA County. We've seen it move through different communities in different ways. There's been a disproportionate share of deaths among Black Angelenos. We've also seen the vast majority of deaths in people 65 and older, who represent just 14% of the county by population. At the same time, we haven't seen any deaths in LA County of people under the age of 18. So I did a little bit of data wrangling to compare deaths to the adult population here in the county, and I found that Latinos are 45% of adults in Los Angeles County, just 37% of deaths. At the same time, statewide data makes it very clear that Black and Latino Californians between the ages of 18 and 49 are dying at very high rates.
One group that's been especially hard hit is Pacific Islanders, and Josie's been following that thread for us.
Yes, actually no other group has been as hard hit as Pacific Islanders. They've had 18 deaths in a community of just 118,000 people. This means they have 4 times more cases than their share of the state population. There are also about 4 times as likely as whites and Latinos to die from COVID-19. Why is this happening? Leaders told me that Pacific Islanders have a high prevalence of underlying conditions compared to other demographics like diabetes, heart disease, cancers, and that makes them more vulnerable. Also, many are essential workers working in security and warehouses and food services. I can't underscore enough how much people told me how tight-knit the community is. One pastor I spoke with said he knew of most of the people who had died and could even trace some back to the villages they came from. So this is having a huge impact on them.
Our newsroom continues to answer questions we're getting from our audience. One of the things that we've just seen hundreds of questions on is unemployment benefits. And David has been reporting on the struggles people are having actually accessing those benefits.
That's right. You know, in California's rollout of this new unemployment program for self-employed workers, it's off to a bit of a rocky start. So it launched yesterday, and it's giving many freelancers and independent contractors their first chance to apply for benefits. But applicants are really saying that they're having a tough time getting through the system. In his press conference today, Governor Newsom did acknowledge that people are having technical difficulties with the state's website. He says they're working on building more support. Then we've heard from a lot of others who are still completely shut out of the system. These are the people I'm specifically talking about who've already run out of benefits. So, you know, typically you can only get unemployment benefits for 26 weeks. The Federal CARES Act extended that by 13 weeks, but in California, workers with exhausted claims, they've not been able to apply for that extension yet. The Labor Secretary here in California, Julie Su, says the state is working on a timeline for rolling out those extensions, but there's no firm date yet.
Finally today, Governor Newsom said that California is a week or 2 away from modifying its stay-at-home orders. Mariana's been reporting on the need for childcare providers to help make that happen, because those of us with kids at home are going to need those childcare providers to get back to work.
Yeah, so before we can get to a point where people whose kids are at home right now can get childcare, there's essential workers that are still going out into the world every day. A few weeks ago, Governor Newsom announced that there would be an additional $50 million of financial assistance available to those parents to help them get childcare, and that's enough for an estimated 20,000 kids, which, yeah, that sounds like a lot of money, a lot of kids, but here's some context that I got from some local agencies. There is an existing waiting list at one childcare agency in Los Angeles with more than 22,000 parents on it, and many of them work in essential services. And so when they told these parents, hey, we're going to have money for your childcare, more than 1,000 of them applied in just one day, and that's just here at one agency in Los Angeles.
Well, thank you so much to all of you at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. And thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourself, of your families, and we will see you tomorrow.